Hi, friends, and welcome to Grandmas versus Grandpas. And today we're talking stages of life.
And this week, we're tackling a question that haunts people in all walks of life. Am I behind? I mean, should I own my own home? Should I have a six-pack? Should I have a Roth IRA?
The good news is we've lived long enough to know the truth. So let's get into it. Ladies, in just one sentence, when in your life did you feel the most behind?
Elementary school and high school.
I felt the most behind when I was in my 40s and my children were young.
I felt the most behind in elementary school also. And after that, I was good to go.
And you, gentlemen?
I felt the most behind in second grade when I came back to school after having mono for 3 months.
I felt the most behind my second time going back home from California at a family reunion when everyone had their family, their kids, and I was still single.
Oh,
And me, I felt the most behind at 49, unmarried, lost.
All right, let's talk about love. Some say it's better to marry young and grow together. Others say waiting lets you avoid costly mistakes. So what's the smarter choice, marrying young or waiting until later?
You know, the wonderful thing is that it's all in the perception. I got married so young at 23, but it felt so old because everybody else that I knew had gotten married at 17 or 18. It was, isn't that funny?
And I feel like I was happy to start my life a bit later. I didn't get married till I was 32 and then had a child at 37. But I wasn't as much in love with anybody until that I married the right person and I met him later.
That's kind of what they're doing today. They're waiting longer.
Yeah.
And I too got married young, but it wasn't, I got married at 21 and had my first child at 23. And I was happy being married and I didn't think I had to wait any longer.
Grandpa Monterey?
well, I was having so much fun in my 20s. I didn't get married until I was like 28. And that was my first marriage. And then I had my son when I was 36. But that was my second marriage. But then I found true love
Your third one?
at my third marriage.
Oh my goodness.
And that's when I was older.
Maybe the question should be, which one is best, 1, 2, or 3?
I'm not answering that. Of course, 3.
Yeah, okay. I'm not qualified for this question since I'm single. Hear that, ladies? I'm still single. So I don't feel qualified to talk about the marriage question.
Well, my first and only marriage took place when I was 49 years old.
Wow.
And I don't profess to know anything about whether it's good to do it younger or older. It was just, like she said, it's all about the perception. I was afraid to even think about marriage because I was doing so much dirt that I thought, man, if I get married, I thought my wife would do all of that back to me because people preach to you about, you're gonna reap what you sow, when you're out there fumbling around with everybody. And so I was just afraid to settle down with one. That's that. And at 49, my pastor said, hey, one day in a service, said, some of you in here are afraid to get married. That dropped in my spirit, and that's when I
Got married.
Yeah, I prayed and said, God help me here. And hey, he did.
But
And I'm thankful.
today, you can wait longer. People should wait longer. When I was 21, you couldn't get a miscarriage, you couldn't get an abortion, you couldn't get anything like that, and you didn't have sex.
Oh,
But
why
not
did you need an
Where did you
abortion?
live?
Why did you need
not
an
good.
abortion if you didn't have sex?
How's life on the moon?
that, but today it's different because you
Yeah.
didn't have sex because if you got pregnant, you couldn't get it aborted.
Oh, I see how you're saying it now. At first, I didn't
Ah.
understand.
But today it's totally different, and you can live with somebody until you're old enough to get married.
that's for a different podcast, the sex
You can
part.
do it. Well, I think people have made a lot of choices that may or may not be correct, but they're doing them, and so many people are doing them. Then that just there's a signal that goes out when a lot of people do something that it's correct.
But the world has changed. You can do
Well,
that.
drastically as you make it. You
Well,
know,
love
it's
is
just-
love.
It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
what people are doing. That's what people are
Yeah,
doing.
love does have something to do with it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know.
families are still gathering for weddings and things like
Yes.
that. But
Mhm.
and my daughter there was 10 years they were dating.
Yeah, in my third marriage, we had a 10-year engagement. Yeah.
Right. And my grandson lives with his,
Person.
yes, actually, she's his new fiance. And they live
Yay.
together, but I don't know when they're going to get married.
And
But
maybe-
they are engaged.
Oh, they're engaged.
Well,
Yes.
very good.
Building on that, what about kids? Is it better to have them early and grow up together? Or wait until you're financially and emotionally stable?
I'm grateful that I started late because I thought I had my head on straight. I was more financially stable, and I think I could devote more time to them to help raise the children. I worked and raised my children. I think it's better to wait.
The wait, okay?
I think you're smarter as you get older.
Let's go for a grandpa.
Oh,
See what a
that
grandpa
I
has to
agree
say.
with.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely better if you're ready for it, and if it's something that is not necessarily planned for, but it's talked about, and the two of you are thinking, yeah, okay, we can handle this if it comes along, and but be ready for it because that's a lot of work and a lot of responsibility.
It's long lasting and life changing.
Right.
Yeah.
I was 29 the month after my son was born, and I had grown up longing to go to New York, longing to perform, longing to be off Broadway or Broadway and do modeling and do all of that stuff. And I'm so thrilled that I got to do it first. And then I got married. And then I had kids because by that time I knew exactly having kids was the most glorious thing. And I did natural childbirth and I really got into it. And I loved being pregnant and all of that. And I think if I hadn't had all of the experience beforehand, I would have thought longingly of other things I wanted to do, but I did them first. And then I had kids, and I loved being home raising my kids.
So you waited, you got married and then you waited a while before the two of you had children?
Yes, because I wanted him to be able to really find his footing. I had already been to New York. I had already done the things I wanted to do. I wanted him to be really clear that he was happy with his life. And then we brought children in. And it was, I just think it's was so wise. I don't have a regret one about it.
Eugene,
Well,
no children?
no children, not married, but I would lean towards being sure you're stable first. Then, if you want a child, but you have to want them, I would say.
Yeah,
Mhm.
boy,
you
if
gotta
you
want
don't
to have
want
them.
kids,
If you
don't
yeah,
do it.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want the kids, then you do it. Because you can bring them up in a better environment and
Yeah.
know you're safe with it.
Well, you know what? I don't have any children. Married late, and something happened with my wife, and so we didn't have a window that was open wide enough for us to deal with that. But I like the idea also. I mean, I agree totally with everything everyone said, but I like the idea of you marry and you find out and we're pregnant, wherever it happens. And then you just, as a responsible person, you dig in and you train it up the way it should go. I like that too, because that happened in my family.
That's kind of an exciting event.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's a really exciting event.
it is.
Life changing.
Yeah, absolutely life changing forever.
The best thing I ever did.
Right.
Yep,
Oh.
me too.
Now,
Staying home and raising
the best thing you
them.
do is your grandchildren.
Yeah.
Well, you don't do
Those
that,
are,
but you do.
those are treats beyond belief.
Yeah.
I wish I had one.
I took 20 years and stayed home, and I just think it was the smartest thing I ever did.
So, Bobby, you had kids when you were 23, right?
Yeah.
Well, do you feel that that was exactly how it was supposed to happen, or did you feel like maybe there were a few things that weren't done yet?
No, everything I wanted to do, I did before or after. I kind of was the kind of person that went ahead and did what she wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have any money because my husband was a resident. He was a doctor, and
Right.
so he made $25 a week. And
Oh,
that's nothing.
Yeah.
So, but all of our friends, they made the same thing. So
Right.
you just go ahead and make your own fun
Mm-hmm.
and do the things that you want to do for yourself. I never thought that I was missing anything. And I never considered myself old because I would just kept doing what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that sounds weird.
Well,
but
No, it doesn't sound
Yeah.
weird at all. I was the same way.
And I was kind of a single parent for a while, and it brought things to kind of a halt. But the child also put me on a whole different path from where I was going. I took on I saw the responsibility, took it on, and moved forward. And by that chance, it led me down to a career that I was with for about 20 years that I would have never come across if that hadn't happened to me. And it one thing led to another, and it was a fantastic experience.
I think that a lot of life is how you face it and how optimistic you are about things. And if you grab it by the horns and go where the best part of you wants to go with it, you're just going to have a better life.
Yep.
And I never thought I was old. I still don't think I'm old.
You're not.
Well, I got news for you.
No, I don't think I'm old.
Yeah.
And I'm everything I want to do, I still do.
Yeah.
yeah.
The picture of my mind when I think of myself in a situation, it's not necessarily in this body and looking this way. So,
We don't talk about our bodies anymore.
all right, it's not this person. I might be still 28,
Right.
So,
Speaking of body,
That's right.
when I'm watching the football game, I feel wonderful in my recliner. And I hop up and I go, oh, no.
yeah.
You have to start using turmeric. Okay, so here we are. Now for the real stress-inducing topic. Money.
What's that?
Oh,
At what age should we be financially stable? I leave it to you ladies.
I think that when you're living the life that you really want to live, and if you're living the life that you feel is the plan that whoever puts us here has for you, that you don't think of it in that way. Financially stable. Who on earth is financially stable?
Exactly.
I think that you just have faith that if you're doing what you're supposed to do, what you're in love with, what the next adventure is, that you're going to have a supportive universe. And that's the way it's always been for me. I've never thought of money as something that you're either financially stable or not.
Well, I guess it depends on what you have and what you don't have. I grew up working class, and so that there was never a lot of money, and so I instinctively always worked. I worked since I was 13, babysat, worked at like little shops, the Joni shop in Queens, and I'll never forget. But I always had that responsibility. I didn't even know it. I reflect on it now because of the kind of person I am. But I also know that everybody has a lot of stress. Some people make more money than others. And so when I was with my first husband and raising our children, sometimes he would work more and I would work less. And so you have to balance it out. And I feel like there were money struggles. And I think that, you're fighting for your family, put food on the table. And I don't know if you're ever financially stable, like you said.
Right.
I think everybody, even when you feel like you're floating, like, do I have enough money in my retirement account? No, not
But you have a retirement account.
I do. But
And
my
life happens.
my
You never know.
accountant said go back to work just now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I remember one time with my two boys in the car, I remember putting gas in the car and having a dime left in my pocket and thinking that I was just fine.
Yeah, you could do a lot with that dime.
Yeah, buy some groceries.
Yeah, I don't think you should put an age limit on it, because then when you become that age, I'm that age, I don't have enough.
That goes back
Yeah.
to the am I behind?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's if I've got a roof over my head, I can feed myself, I'm doing what I love to do, and
That's it.
I've got enough I do have an IRA, have enough in that. I do want the feeling of security, not, financially, I'm okay. It's like, I got enough, I'm good, I'm happy. And that's the important thing, is to be happy.
I don't think it's a number. I think it's
Tell them to go to work.
it's what you have that's supporting you. What I don't want to be is a burden to my son.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing about the last check you write is to the funeral parlor, and it bounces. And
And you can't put a number up because of inflation and stuff like that.
yeah.
This is enough for me. Well, 3 years down the road, it's not enough because of
Right.
inflation.
Right.
And Social Security
Yeah.
is not enough.
Right.
You have to have
And we don't even know how long it's going to last.
I know.
So,
Scary topics, but
Yeah.
yeah, if you've
These
got
are
enough
scary
in the bank.
absolutely.
Well, I mean, yeah, just on the getting, this is not anything to do with financially stable, but if I could have 6, most people say 3, but if I could have 6 house payments in the bank,
Oh,
and
left. You mean?
Yeah.
yeah, and and still paying.
Yeah.
But those 6 just sitting there. Because the transition, if I transition before my wife, then, she's going to need some time to either sell out or pull out or whatever she's going to do,
right.
I want $1 million.
Yeah.
$1 million isn't like it used to be. Let me tell you.
No.
Because
Yeah.
guess what? I got $1 million equity in my house.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What is it?
Just hit up Jerry. Just hit up Jerry. if you
No,
need the
no,
money.
no.
But that's not
That's bricks and mortar. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't, I can't spend it.
And that, well, what did we have? 2 huge fires
Right.
a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
got
They come like that.
Yep.
And there's a lot of people that's their insurance never covers
Yeah.
that. And,
Right.
That's
there's all-
right. They bought that house 40 years ago or 50 years ago
Yeah.
Right.
and never increased the insurance to be what it might be worth
Things
today.
like that. Well, it's about planning, and so it's
Right.
like I said, when my son was born, the first thing or not the first thing, but one of many things that I thought about was, okay, we need some security going forward. So like what happens when they go to the doctor? What happens if there's something serious? So, I got a job that had benefits and paid for things forward and went with me after my retirement. So
Yeah.
it does take planning and clear-headedness and some part of a crystal ball to say what if and go with it.
All right, great answers, everyone. But we got a big question coming up. Now, Should you take a job you hate for financial security or pursue your passion even if it pays less? And all of us being actors, I think I know what no.
I just-
Monterey, go.
No,
Just no.
Okay, just
No, no.
So no means
I would
don't
not.
take a job just for security.
I wouldn't take
Go
it.
for your passion.
right.
Yeah, if it's something that really is something like it said, I hate that you hate. No, because knowing myself, I would not last.
No,
Right.
you'd get fired immediately. And I wouldn't, there's no way on earth that I wouldn't get fired.
But I feel like I have taken jobs that
Yeah.
weren't the greatest. They weren't like a lifelong dream. But sometimes you really just needed the money to survive. You
Yeah.
had to-
Yeah, when I first came out, it was the same way, working as a bank clerk, working as a clerk somewhere else, telemarketing, which I do now, which is fine. But back then it was like it's almost a scam act. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, it's bringing money in. I've had enough. Okay, I've got enough to cover myself. And now I do a part daytime job. But it's just a little bit extra coming in.
Yeah.
Takes
Yeah.
up some time.
different now at
It's
this
different
age.
now. Yeah, I can. It's a career.
I
Happy.
would take a job I hated for the cushion I needed to pursue what I wanted to.
And if you pursue what you want to do, you can work really hard at it.
Make your money.
Not do exactly what you want, but something else in that area, and you can make your money out of that, making it
Yeah.
bigger and bigger and more important.
Right.
When you love something enough.
Yeah.
I've been fired so many times from funny little jobs that I took to survive. Like one time I'm dyslexic. I lasted 3 weeks as a file clerk. I never would try being a waitress because
I was a waitress
that would have
forever.
been such a mess.
Oh, God.
But, I've been a maitre d' in restaurants, and always I get sent home.
Let's get into the real debate. Is feeling behind a personal problem something in your own heads, or is society creating unrealistic expectations for us? Do you think life is too hard?
I think life is the most glorious gift. That's why they call it the present. And I have just loved it.
I feel the same way that life is a gift, but I think life can be hard. It's up and down. It's the highs are really high and beautiful, and then sometimes you just got to go, whew, it's a lot of stuff going on. I need some help, whether you talk to your God or you talk to the universe or you talk to your friends, but sometimes you need some help.
I think you just have to adjust yourself so that you're in an area that makes you happy and you can work in.
I would say years and years ago when we were younger, the normal thing was you grow up, you get married, you have kids, and you go on. So that's society. Not so much today where kids get married early, do what they want. I'd say it's more something in your own head. You're putting the pressure on yourself,
Yeah.
which I learned, it's not worth it,
Yeah.
which is why don't stress out, love what you're doing and love life, good and bad times. It's tough, but I just say, I'm still, when we play golf, I'm still playing above the ground.
But
I'm still here.
But that's the secret. You have to like everything you're doing, or
Yep.
just change it enough so you like it a little.
Yeah, that's very important. Stay happy and stay loving to what you're doing.
Well, I think that's the secret, is the fact that you're not locked into whatever you first decided your life was supposed to be like, and your goals and what life said to you it was supposed to be about. Then when I say life, I mean the people around you and the noise that comes out at you from all around. And you can change your mind. I don't know how many. I've had so many careers. That and Bonnie and I seem to have worked in a situation where, without even realizing it, every 5 years we've moved since we've been together.
Wow.
Don't move. Stay
And,
close by.
and it's great. I mean, it's we still have. It's not a people thing. It's just life happens, and whether it's a wildfire that hits you twice,
Yeah.
and or a job that you're finished with, and you say, "What's next?" you have to be able to go and roll with the punches and say, well, that doesn't mean I have to, it's not going to knock me down. It's just, this is a new opportunity and let's go for it. And gosh, we definitely have. We've been so resilient. It's just amazing how the two of us have lived the last 30-something years.
I think that's an answer to a lot of things, though. People put too much thought into it.
Yeah.
You have to roll with the bunches
Yeah.
and learn to like and love what this next stage you're going to get into is.
And not be negative.
Right, definitely being negative is the worst thing you can do in life. It makes you a miserable person.
Yes.
And sometimes I've been feeling lately that people, like you tell them something that you want to do or you're going to,
And they go,
and then they go, oh no, that doesn't
wanna
sound like
do
a good
that.
idea. And you're like,
yeah.
why? Why would you say that?
Oh, yeah.
Give me a chance.
Yeah, brother-in-law is telling you that, oh, why don't you get a real job? You make more money that way because he's
That's,
into money. He's like, I'm not into the money and I'm doing well. Thank you. Smile.
And
Thanks.
also studying a language or taking a class at this age is like changing my life.
yeah. Oh,
I'm like going to these clubs, learning how to play mahjong, learning really like French.
Learn Canasta, I'll play with you.
All right, we'll chat. I don't know how to play it, but I want to learn everything.
And when you allow what you're doing or thinking about doing to ooze out into the courtroom of public opinion, yeah, you will get a dose of
yeah.
public opinion.
Yeah. Oh, people are much more willing to give you their opinion,
Your opinion.
Yeah, than
than a
anything
helping
else.
hand.
Yeah, take it or leave it or just let it go over you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing. I think I learned from different things in life. Like, for instance, I was about 2% from being a coward. And so I had to learn to get along with people. And so my learning how to get along with people taught me something else in another area. And, you know, all my friends were, excuse me, ladies, but they were knocking their girlfriends around and I wasn't. And they called a meeting and had me. I was at the center of the meeting. How come you don't hit that beat? And you know what I'm saying? What are you hit her for? And you know, I saw Marvin Johnson carrying her books or whatever the case may be. You know, that's why you should hit her. But I learned from all of these different things. I learned something that I was able to apply in another area of my life. And so, you know, I'm just maybe milky toast. I don't know.
It sounds like you
I don't
don't
think
follow
so.
the crowd.
Right.
No,
You
I
have
don't.
to have your own heart and your own mind.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if anyone that listens to these podcasts really learns anything from us, but I can tell you, I can tell you this. I can tell you this right now. Just sitting in these podcasts, I learned so much about all of you. And I think that's wonderful. I think that is probably the reason why we do the podcast, don't you?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so.
All good things start out bad. And that was started on.
No good deed
We're only
goes
gonna get better.
unpunished.
Yes. And here's the big one. What does it mean to you to have your life figured out?
Mistake.
Yeah. There's always tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Would
funny.
you repeat the question, please?
Okay. And here's the big one.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I thought you meant, oh.
I think people who think that they have it figured out, I owe it, like you
Yeah.
go back to and you look at them again and they usually don't. I mean, if you say you do, I think that's so rigid and so
Well, let
Ridiculous.
me ask you this real quick.
cocky.
Isn't it those people who are the most opinionated?
Oh,
The ones who
yeah.
have it
Yeah.
all
Oh,
figured
yeah.
out?
Right.
And they're also going to be stagnant because I figured it out. This is where I want to be. That's it. Oh, you're not going to do anything else? That's,
Yeah, exactly.
You got to stay stagnant, stay right down there.
And they try to keep you with them.
Yeah, keep you with. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you're doing it.
Well, they need friends. Yeah. You know. Yes. Well, I mean, if they got it all figured out, they got to have some people with them.
Yes.
You don't do that alone.
Yeah,
no.
Unless you say, I've got it all figured out. I'm going to go live on a desert island. And that might be true.
I'm going to move away from you.
It's the people. I love life. I just hate the people, you know?
Oh,
They are a problem, aren't they?
Yeah, they get in my way.
yeah.
So let's dig a little deeper. Now, what does it mean to you to have your life all figured out?
What it means is that I'm listening and I'm enjoying the ride.
Okay, you got 3 big boxes I need you to check. What does it mean to you to have your life figured out? Since you
To
want
have
to
my life figured out would be to have the respect of my loved ones, to have my health, and to be financially stable.
even though we don't know what that is. Bubby?
All the things that you've just mentioned
Yeah.
are the perfect practical things that you would wish.
Right.
And when you asked the questions, my mind just never went so practical wise. I just thought I kind of do what I wanted.
Yeah, that's what enables
But what
you.
you say is true. Health and
Respect and love.
respect from your family and friends, and
What was the
Worrying
last
about
one?
money.
not worry
Financially
about
stable.
Right.
My feeling is I want to be here having this kind of rich, wonderful fun as long as I have my health. If
Me
the
too.
health fails, get me out of here just as quick as you can.
Yeah, the health, being happy with who I am and where I am in life, and having friends and loved ones.
Yep.
All the practical things, you get those done, and I think you're doing those through your life because you're kind of looking forward if you can. And it's like, where am I right now in life? I mean, I'm in my mid 70s almost, and retirement. Yes, I've done that many times, and
You
I've
liked it
loved every
every
time.
time you did
And every time I retired, I've ended up going back to work in some capacity. And even though this is so much fun and so rich, acting is one of the things I do, and this is part of that world. And if I didn't have that, then I'd be beating the bricks trying to find something else.
And we don't have any more dime stores to work in.
Yeah, we can't do that. Well, but there are some great little jobs I've found to do in retirement that maybe last 6 months. And you do that, and then the other 6 months you go out and do whatever the heck you want to do. You travel, you do those little side things you've been dreaming of doing, going places, meeting people. You can never end getting enough of that. Meeting people is wonderful.
You guys are so intellectual. All I did was made sure my burial insurance was up to date. And I made sure that my will was up to date. And that my wife had all the cards and where all the little
Yeah,
money
that's
was.
all part of life, but you get that done, and then you
Move
take
on,
care of yourself,
Yeah.
Okay, all right, gang. We have a few fan-submitted questions from Instagram for today's episode, so let's take a look. This first question comes from Jack Milliken. Hey, Retirement House, big fan. So my entire family runs a super successful chain of mattress stores. Like my grandpa started it, my dad took it to the next level, and my older brother just opened a location in Dubai.
Oh,
Meanwhile, I spent the last 5 years trying to become a professional magician. Good luck. Turns out people don't want a magician at a funeral, which was my big business idea. Now I'm broke and selling the very mattresses my family owns. Am I behind in life?
Oh, was that
Wow.
the question?
That was the
That's the
question.
question.
Okay.
He submitted this.
I
to
don't
us.
think
we
so.
should.
I don't think you're behind in life, Jack. I think this is a fork in the road.
Yeah.
And you have to jump over it and see what else comes. Like it's like one door opens as one door closes. Or
And a window opens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and lets a new breeze in. Absolutely. No, it's just a transition, Jack.
Yeah.
So enjoy it and be grateful that your family has something you can do rather than taking a tin cup out on the street.
Yeah. But keep doing what you love to do.
Yeah.
Your time will come.
Your time will come.
And you can do magic on the weekends, working for parties and things.
yeah, for
honestly.
the kids.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
For the kids or the grown-ups.
isn't
Yeah.
this it's kind of contradictory a little bit, isn't it? To what we said earlier?
What, doing magic at a funeral?
No.
Abracadabra.
Being behind in life. It's
Yeah,
like-
I mean, doing that job for less, or doing, with the family business. I mean,
I think it's just, you can always rethink things. You know, you take stock of where you're at and say, well, maybe the funeral isn't the place I should be doing this. Maybe I should go to a club and do it there.
It's called life.
Yeah.
It's not always great. It's not always successful. You're going to hit your bumps in the road. You've hit a bump in the road. Stay with it.
Right.
What you love to do.
And you're lucky. It's a career that you can put alongside your real career where you're earning money and make it very important to you.
So keep your eyes open.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, there's a number of late night talk show hosts that started out as magicians when they were,
yeah.
younger,
Yep.
and it can lead into a lot of things. So it's not a place to stop; it's a place to keep moving from.
Yep.
So go for it.
Yep. And we have I don't know where you're located, but we have Magic Castle here.
Yeah.
And in New York,
And a lot of wonderful private parties, too.
the next question submitted to our Instagram comes from Cole Clark. He asked, so I was supposed to take a gap year before college. Travel, find myself, all that. 1 year turned into 10. I lived in 7 countries, learned 3 languages, and once accidentally got engaged to a minor European royal.
Wow. What a
But now all of my friends have jobs, houses, and 401ks. And I'm just now thinking about getting my first credit card.
ooh,
Am I behind?
I'd say no. You've done that traveling. My goodness. Wow. You've lived 2 lives in one.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Boy, me too.
Wow.
That's like a college
Are you
degree.
kidding? Behind. You're
Yes.
so far ahead of everybody else.
You learn 3 languages.
Yeah.
Sometimes college isn't right for everyone.
Yeah.
3. Wow.
Is this not the recommended way to go about doing things?
I
Enjoy
think so.
Yeah,
This before
yes.
you
Yes,
marry?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Wow.
I changed careers at 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
yeah.
It's like, who makes the rules?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no rules.
Yeah, there's no rules, but I was just saying
Yeah,
that
no.
this is the recommended.
Yeah, college wasn't right for him.
Yeah.
Take 20 years of it. Wow,
Although-
see the world?
Although, how do you advise your own child? Okay, so
Yeah, yes.
my child talked about the gap year, and I encouraged her not to do it
Oh,
because I didn't come back right away, and I was worried. Here you are, a different role.
yeah,
with-
now- yeah.
Yeah.
So
You have to be disciplined to take those gap years.
I know.
But college isn't the most important thing in
Exactly.
the world.
Yeah,
a lot of
very
people
true.
Don't go to college, and they learn a lot more
In
from
life.
just traveling around and doing different things and in life, right?
Yep.
My son came and asked for that gap year, or said that he wanted that gap year, and I very bravely, and believe you me, I thought, oh, he might never go back. Boy, he went back after a year and graduated with honors. Honest to God. It just, I just think you have to encourage your children to be brave. Life is not for cowards.
And
it
make
just
the-
isn't.
And make their own decision.
Yes.
Do you really want college? Fine. If you don't, fine. Take a
You
gap
want
year.
a gap year? Take a gap year. And I hope you go back. And not only that, but he went back and got another full scholarship.
Wow. That's
So
great.
if you were my own child, I would be so proud of you that I would probably be in tears right now, Cole. Believe me, it's going to work out great for you. Don't let your crazy mind tell you you're behind. You are right where you're supposed to be right now.
Well, I would lay out a strategy for mine and, ensure him that, you've violated nothing. You've done this, you've done that. Now you need to do this. And now you don't have to worry about, what the Joneses are doing over there. You want to go to college? Go to college. You want to do this? Do that. And just lay it right out for him, and he'll do it just like he did those first years.
Learned a lot in those first years, and you're just going to move on to your next step.
And that's the thing about being a parent. At some point, you have to back off.
Yes.
And plus, they don't want to hear your voice at some point. They want to take their own, they find their own path.
I would imagine, not to be a parent, but as a parent, you got to trust yourself. You did a great job.
Exactly.
Now, what do you want to do, son?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like Cole though is asking for feedback.
Yeah.
He wants-
Okay.
Because he's back and he did all this stuff and maybe he wasn't thinking of his future while he was doing all this. So, yeah, let's sit down, let's have a talk, lay it out. Maybe there are ways, there are great books about the subject for one, but really put your thoughts down, what you've done, what you are drawn to, and
What do you want to do?
yeah, look at all.
Basically.
Just really reflect on everything you've done and see what pops up.
And you don't always know what that is
Oh,
in your
exactly,
20s.
exactly.
Right,
It's
exactly.
It doesn't
gonna
happen
come to
till
you, though.
later.
It's all in there,
Of course.
and it's cooking, and it's going to pop up, and it's going to reveal itself.
And he'll have a more exciting life because he ends up doing something that he's really interested in and wants to do.
Yeah.
And Cole may be pressured from family. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Sometimes we all have had that, and sometimes
Yeah.
in our
I,
lives.
I was lucky because I was blessed when I was leaving. My mom and dad backed me. Mom didn't want me to leave. Mama's boy. But they were all for it and, give me a little goodbye party. And
Not
set me
everybody
up.
has that, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then they came out to visit and they said, oh, that's one good thing about you going to California, Chuck. They met all these beautiful people and they never would have seen California if I hadn't come out.
So let's go on because last but not least, we have a female submitted question from Ash Stahl. Let's take a look. Hey guys, so I went out on a solo trip to Paris last year and ended up getting hired as an emergency babysitter by a super rich family. One thing led to another, and I somehow became a full-time live-in nanny for their dog. Now I'm making good money, but basically spoon-feeding a Pomeranian while my friends are out there starting companies and getting married. Did I mess up? Am I behind in life? What do you guys think?
Talk about a menial job.
Are you kidding? You're in Paris, baby.
Well, the other side of it is you want to be a babysitter for the rest of your life. So do it as long as you can and enjoy it and reap
out.
the benefits of it and then have a plan, I think, and make some choices.
Or learn how to speak dog.
Yeah.
Well, she's already telling herself that she's not satisfied because
yeah.
she's
Right.
thinking about it.
And she's making a lot of
So-
money.
It's not enough for
Yeah.
her.
She could be studying French,
Yeah.
or maybe she already speaks French, but she could maybe find a better job there.
While she's doing that,
Yeah.
take advantage of what she's making at the time. It's like the question about would you work at a job you hate?
Hey, yeah.
Well, if it's leading to something that you love, it's it's
Tell her to call me.
This is
yeah. I'll take the dog for it.
Take the dog.
All right, folks, it's time for our
All right.
rapid fire round.
Yeah.
We want your gut reactions. Short answers only. 1, do you feel behind in life today?
Not at all.
Nope.
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 Negative.
There you go.
Okay. Marry for money or for love?
Love, and maybe if they're rich, that's great.
Love.
Love.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Love.
Love.
Kids first or career first?
Kids first.
Career first.
Career first.
Career.
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 What's more important? passion or stability?
Passion.
Passion.
Way more passion.
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 Is retirement overrated? Yes or no?
I have no idea. I've never retired.
Retirement is amazing.
I think it's overrated.
No, it's not overrated.
Overrated.
I don't know yet.
Because you
Do
haven't
you
done.
want to be retired?
No,
I don't know what that word means.
Okay.
You would miss all of us.
Yes.
yeah, but no, I couldn't do this and retire.
Right. Okay.
That's a different definition
turn.
of retirement. Okay, what's the one thing you wish you knew about aging?
Ooh, I wish I had known it would be so much fun.
I wish I had taken care of my body a little bit better. We're not talking about how it looks. We're talking about how it feels.
No,
Yes.
I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
Nothing. I just didn't think about anything. Aging just came as the next step in life, and whatever it was, I was going to have fun with it.
I wish I understood how it got faster as the years went on.
Yeah.
It just speeded up on me, and now I'm somewhere that
Zip, 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 zip.
I wish I knew it could be this much fun.
Yeah, a good hand cream would have. No, I didn't think about it that much. It just didn't come to me. I was too busy enjoying where I was at.
Yes.
That's what
Yeah,
I
me
was
too.
like.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's a gift that you've been given. Is like you're
Yeah.
oblivious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Age is just a number.
It's good. I didn't realize other people were such pessimists.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, last question. This is a beauty. Are you ever really behind in life?
I don't think so. Nope.
If you're behind, then you're not living in the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
I don't think you're behind, especially when you like wherever you
Yeah.
happen to be.
well, I think as long as you know how to restart. If you miss your purpose, you know how to restart, then you're never behind.
No, you're not behind as long as you're just living.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Yeah.
if you're in the ground, you're
Yeah, you're not
behind.
Oh,
Feel my big moment.
Oh boy, what a fun conversation we've had today. Whether you feel behind or you feel ahead, we hope this episode has inspired you to show yourself a little grace. We're still figuring things out, even at our age.
Okay, and thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you all next week.
Make sure you subscribe.